Hey guys, welcome to another Worldbox video here on the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to create 8 islands and put 8 different civilizations on them. And every 115 years, I'm going to simulate a reduction in ocean levels, expanding the territory of each of these civilizations. And of course, that's not all, because at the bottom of the ocean, there are many riches. So the civilizations will receive valuable minerals as the ocean recedes and their territory expands. And there's more. Yes, there's definitely more. Because weird, strange, and dangerous creatures live at the bottom of the ocean. And of course, they're going to emerge over time. Drink up. Alright, let's start. First, this map isn't related, right? Let's make a new world. I'll use the iceberg, as usual, since it's cooler. It makes the world bigger. Now I'll create the islands. I'm going to take forest soil and set it to a circular shape, the largest size. Here's my plan. Since they'll expand over time, I can't place them near the edge. If I put an island at the edge, it will only expand downward and be disadvantaged. So what I thought about doing in this video is placing like 4 like this, in a square shape, and a few more here in the middle. Look, in a kind of plus sign shape. I think maybe this way it ended up a bit too closed off. Or maybe not. I think I can leave it. No, I think it's fine like this. It's fine like this. It's fine like this. Then I'll start putting things in them. I'll put grass seeds and everything. But later, I'm going to change it. There are things that will be different. Like, for example, I'll have 8 civilizations, but some of them are in different biomes. Civilizations in quotes, okay? Because, like, there are 4 civilizations here in the game. And then there are others that aren't really civilizations, because they're not civilized, right? But they're different races that control territories just like the 4 civilizations. But they're not the same as civilizations. For example, something I'm going to do that's going to be cool is add demons. And then I can add the infernal biome and put this fire tower that spawns more demons. So, like, that would be cool. So, look, I'm going to let the ores spawn normally. I'm going to make it an infernal biome already. Here's what I'll do, right? I'll put the civilizations here on these 4 islands. And here, no, it's going to be the opposite. Here will be the most aggressive races, and in the middle, the civilizations. I'll make this area demonic. See, it's now the infernal biome. Let me fertilize everything. Tree fertilizer and plant fertilizer. And also, to make this look a little more natural, I'm going to throw a vortex here real quick. The vortex, it messes things up, you know. Alright, I've used the vortex on everything. Now it looks more natural, right? Well, let me do this real quick. I'm going to put 3 on each island. It's humans, elves, orcs, and dwarves. I think I only put 2 orcs there. Let me check. 1, 2, the elves and dwarves didn't form a civilization. Come on, form a civilization already. There you go. Nice, nice, nice. I put 3 for everyone, okay? I think they just didn't unite here. There was 1 that didn't unite. Look, there are 2. Didn't I put 3? I'll add more. Okay, more elves up there too, and more orcs down here. And I'm going to disable the kingdom expansion law because I want them to meet later when I make the islands bigger. I disabled diplomacy too. Okay. Now I'm going to add, initially, I'm going to add 3 demons, and I'm not going to add the fire tower for now. Then, I also have to make the frozen biome. The frozen ones from Game of Thrones. Exactly. Look, permafrost seeds, guys. I turn the island into permafrost and add a tree. That's wild. A ton of trees, man. 1, 2, 3. They'll be right here, look. Where? They showed up. The cold ones, all good? And then, on the 2 islands that are left, I'm going to put 2 other races that dominate everything, which in this case are the biomass and here the cybernetic core. I'm unpausing, and the biomass will immediately start creating creatures. What's this? It's a fox. No, it's attacking the biomass. It's creating its own little creatures. And the cybernetic core, let me see, is also already creating its little soldiers, see? So what am I going to do? I'm going to let 115 years go by, which is cool. That's a lot of time, and we'll see what happens here. The infernal biome, besides the demons, it also creates. It spawns these weird little creatures, which I don't really know the name of. The permafrost. Let me see if it spawns any creatures too. What's this here? Okay, it's a crab. Wow, even worse here, because permafrost spawns. Oh, there's a penguin here. The little penguin. Civilizations are new and will need time to develop. Look at the king. They're hunting the creatures here. The orcs, the dwarves. They're pretty calm. They already have a leader and a king. There are 3 people. Normal guy, leader, and king. The little creatures are spawning as usual. Here's a sheep. let's check on the humans. They already have 5 people, including kids. A brown sheep, nice. And lastly, the elves, which are already here too. There's a rabbit here, a huge rabbit, right? This rabbit is as big as the humans, that's weird. Let's check the biomass, how is it? Look, the biomass is already starting to take over the whole island, and it already has, like 5 little creatures that it created. Lots of little creatures. The cybercore is the same thing, look, and they have, all these creatures have shotguns, these creatures. They're the only creatures in the game with weapons, as far as I know, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's just them. So now I'm going to speed this up, and let's see what happens, right? We made it, guys. We reached the end of 115 years. I'll quickly show you how things are here. The humans have 66 people. They have their houses. Everything's in order. The elves, 63 of them have a port. Everything's nice and tidy. There's a huge ship here. The orcs already have 58 people too. There are fewer of them, but they're doing well too. And lastly, the dwarves, who have an even smaller number of people. They ended up expanding much less. They only have 30 people, but anyway. The biomass has already taken over everything. The cybernetic core has already taken over everything. The frozen ones won't change anything. And the hell here, the infernal part, the infernal biome also won't change anything for me. Now that I'm going to start expanding, that's when things will start to change. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set it to the largest. The expansion will be the largest circle, and I'm going to set it up like this. Look. Their territory is going to increase a lot. I accidentally destroyed the ships, but that's okay. They'll rebuild them later. All right. It turned into a much bigger landmass. Now, the same thing here with the humans. I'll try to do it more or less right. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. I made a small mistake here. All right. And this part here has just a little water. All right. Perfect. All right. The dwarves part. Let me try to get it right. I'll use vortex on all this again to make it look more natural. Because, my friend, hold on. Wow, I knocked over the port. Sorry about that, guys. But later you guys will rebuild your port over here, right? There's not much to do. I'm putting down land. It's going to knock over the port. It's really going to knock over the port. All right. Wow, it turned out it didn't turn out very well. Everything's a bit crooked, but that's okay. It's part of it. Now, the infernal biome. It's going to be huge. And I'm going to put 2 inferno towers here. Because there's more space, man. These biomes here, for them to keep going, for them to have power, right? They're going to need several towers. I might add up to 4 towers for each, making it look cooler. Adding more biomass could also be nice. I don't know if just one biomass, if it expands here by itself, can create a big army, you know? So maybe I'll add more biomass in the future, so they can create a bigger army. Because when these islands meet, man, it's everyone against everyone. Only the civilizations, at most, might end up forming alliances, right? Now, the cybernetic island. All right, I've finished all the islands. Now, hold on a second. I'm literally going to throw some grass here. I'll throw infernal and ice seeds here to do it right. I don't need to touch these parts since they'll take over the bottom. All right. Look how big this thing is. Now we're talking. Now I'm going to place a fire tower here. Another one here. Another one here. Another one here. Wow, it's going to get crowded now. Here it's the same thing. Ice tower, ice, ice, ice. Hold on. Let me set the speed to 3 times. Now these islands are getting populated, look. Full of permafrost here. Actually, not full of permafrost. Full of the frozen ones. Let me see the demons. Let's see if there are a lot. There are a lot of demons here. The demons are all really strong, man. Really strong, okay? Let's check the biomass. Let's see if it can increase its army. It only has a few. Look, 2, 3. Yeah, the biomass army is small. And I think the cybernetic core also only has a few. 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'll have to add more biomass factions and cybernetic cores. I just hope they don't kill each other. I don't think that happens. For biomass to dominate, it needs grass. So I'll have to put grass there, yes. As for the cybernetic core doesn't care. It doesn't care either way. Well, but the biomass needs grass. I'll throw some grass here. But something happened, guys. Tumors emerged from the bottom of the sea. in the 4 civilizations in the middle. And now they'll have to resist. There's nothing to do. Let's see how they'll handle it. Whoa, that's crazy. I think they're going to crush the tumor. They ran. Running, look. Look, the elves too. A small tumor appeared here. Even the wolf came to kill the tumor. The dwarves already killed it. Look. The humans. Whoa. Dude, they killed the tumor so easily, man. Okay. Now I'm going to speed things up here to see how things develop, right? Put it on sonic speed. Guys, we've reached the year 230. The civilizations in the middle all have populations of almost 300 people. And on the corner islands, here's the deal. On the Biomass Island, I had to add 2 more biomasses because they weren't building up an army. Not the biomass in the center here. So I'm going to leave it. Let me slow it down to show you guys. That made the army grow. So now these little creatures are scattered everywhere. Look, there's one underneath. There's one on top. Anyway, it was the same thing at the cybernetic core. There are many of these small creatures all over the island. The civilizations in the middle flourished. Just look at them, like the elves. And I'm here with the Renaissance mod. So there are these buildings here. They're not from World of Box without the mod. Yeah, those are religious buildings, okay? And you can see that they're prospering well despite the limited territory. It's the same with the orcs, look. They're doing really well too. They have a big army. Let me activate the option to show the army. I hadn't activated it until now, and I ended up forgetting. Look, the orc army has 130 people. The elf army, 160. The human army, 150. And the largest army of all, the dwarves, with almost 200 people, 187. Well, they're equipped with basic gear. I'll have to throw in some extra minerals here soon. And the towers, the infernal and ice areas, there's not much to do. Not much to show. They just have more population. It increased because of the extra towers I added. Now I'm going to expand everything here. I believe that some islands will meet and others won't. Let's see what happens. Check this out, guys. I was finishing up the biomass and it almost didn't connect here. There will probably already be some conflicts because of the humans. They're going to have bows, right? So they'll be able to shoot arrows at the others here. And there's also the Renaissance mod. So they're going to have, later on, they'll have weapons. They'll have muskets. So that's going to make things a bit harder for the biomass factions, since they're melee. But that's part of it. I just finished here. No, it looks like a bunch of meat pies. Look, this here looks like a meat pie that got burnt, you know? It looks like a bunch of meat pies, but all right. I'm going to place the forests. I'm going to place the biomes correctly. And I'll be right back. Okay, now here's the thing. With this much land emerging, adamantine ores have arrived. I'm going to place the adamantine ores. I'll spread some deposits here, throughout all the civilizations in the middle, and the civilizations in the corners. They expanded. They will grow too. And they're going to grow a lot, guys. Here's what's happening. Not the middle one, the ones in the corners, right? Towers of fire. They're going to appear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 around the island. On the ice island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 7, 8. Around the island as well. All right? On the biomass island. There will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right? The biomass is a bit stronger. The cybernetic core too. It's much stronger, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Now the islands are going to get robust, okay? All the islands are going to get really strong. I think I'm actually going to add more. I'll add more biomass. I'm going to add more cybernetic core. No problem. And that's it. Now the populations are going to start growing a lot. The demons. I'm going to put 10 demons. Actually spawn them in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the frozen ones too. We're going to do the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right? They're going to start populating all those regions now. And I'm going to apply Vortex to make it look natural. And in the year 345, pretty much all the islands, they will be connected. In the next expansion, they will connect. It's inevitable. We'll see what happens. For now, let's wait for them to develop. Whoa, whoa. Look at this. Hey, it's getting hit, it's getting hit. Taking the tower's shot, the ship sank. The elves' ship, it was just sailing along the coast here. It got hit. Can't even get close. They're getting closer and closer. So these things are going to start happening. We've reached the year 345. The elves simply have 500. 500. The elves simply have 500 soldiers, man. That's a lot. Look at their huge castle. Damn. Damn, man. There are 500 troops here. The second largest army is way behind. They have 330. Look at this. Wow, man. From the dwarves here. I'm going to do the last expansion now. I think I'll put up some fire towers already. Otherwise, it'll be impossible. Build some fire towers. Put up some towers. Add some ice. Place them right on the edges. Because with the last expansion, they will connect. Then it's over. Then things get really bad, man. Let's spread some biomass around here. A bunch of biomass, nice and easy. Some cybernetic cores? Right? It's never too much. The cybernetic cores here, they're some of the most powerful. Because their little creatures simply have shotguns. Well, let's connect now. I'm not going to make it too big. Not here. Do it more or less like this. Then just connect it here, look. I won't even expand it. They'll just end up killing each other anyway. So I'm just going to connect it. Make the connections here. Make a connection in this part. Try to make the connection look nice. Connection here too. Yeah, my friends. Now things are going to get crazy. This one was already super close. Look, this one too. Here too. Up here it was already close. Even to connect through here. Look, here. I would connect here too. I would connect because I'm using the smaller brush size. But I would connect it, yes. Look at this. Look at what it's like now. This is crazy, man. I'm going to make some connections here in the middle too. Look. All right? Everything is connected now. Wow, this middle part looks really ugly. It looks really ugly. But that's okay. Now I'm going to activate all of this here. Look, let's activate all of this here. Because then they start invading other areas. Everything starts to get crazy. There. Hold on, it's going too fast. All right. Now it's back to normal. Look at the little animals here in the middle. There's a tumor there. I don't know if it's that tumor. Or a tumor. Shit, man. Shit. What the? Man, what's going on here? Is there a city at war? Let me see. No city is at war. Man, the archers are hitting their own friends. Look at that. Look at that. The kingdom of Helm of the Inn. Helm of the Inn. The kingdom of the inn. Wow, these archers are awful. Kingdom. Hold on, let me check the other places. Wow, creatures that come here just get shot. He got shot. They destroyed the mine. There are still many critters here, and what about the permafrost? Wow, look. The orcs are invading the permafrost. Look at all these creatures here. Wow, man, but what are they doing, I wonder? Look, they attacked. They're attacking. They're fighting. Hold on, let me see the chaos here. Look at the trail. Look at the trail they're leaving. They're really getting it, huh? They're really getting it. There's a trail of fire here. But it's up here, look. The infernal biome, like, pretty much the towers are intact. There are a lot of demons, okay? A lot of them. As they start expanding over here, the humans, they're going to get into direct combat. Look, there's a human here lost, fighting with the biomass. The little one. The little one. And the humans here are all killing each other. Bro, the biomass drives them crazy, man. Yeah. It's not human, no. These are elves already. They're elves. All elves. They're all killing each other because they went crazy, man. Let's speed up the world. Let's see what happens now. I'll make everything ultra fast. I'll leave it zoomed out. Let's see. Let me center it properly. Guys, 390 years have passed, and I'm back here to say that the central civilizations have simply dominated most of the other civilizations. And that's how I wrap up today's video. I'll put another World Box video on the screen if you want to watch. Thanks, guys.